Hello, 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 everybody. This is Dr. Shaniva Earlier Craft Doctor, and I'm here with my next video. So, I am going to try out the digital version of the Heartfelt Creations line. So, y'all know if y'all been watching my channel for any length of time that I love Heartfelt, and I have almost everything that they came out with. Previous to the last few years. I stopped kind of collecting in the last few years. So I can't wait to they actually start putting up a lot of the newer stuff because I have a lot of the older things and I'm trying to transfer my catalog over to digital. So I want to show you what I did. So I went into Heartfelt Creations website. I purchased the butterfly medley, downloaded it to my computer, and then uploaded the portions that I wanted for this design over to my Cricut. So first I'm going to put you on my mat, and then I'm going to bring, I'm going to bring up my Cricut. Can y'all see that on the mat? Y'all can see that. Yep. So I downloaded these different elements. What I forgot to download was a leaf. But I downloaded these elements right here. And then my stuff. Let me go into my stuff. And then I put it on the mat. And I'm saying customize so that it can go to my mat. Okay, let me. Yep, you can see that. Okay, I was just making sure. So I put it on my mat, and let me take it back a little bit. What I did was I am making a 5x7 card, and so what I did was I made this piece for an 3/4 by 6 3/4, which is really too big because it needs to be 6.5 by 6.5 because I forgot the matte layer. And then I took some butterflies and those butterflies and I brought in and I just copied two of them, both of them. I duplicated. Then I took in one of the flower, and then I duplicated it twice. Then I copied it and duplicated that, and then I copied it and I duplicated that. And then I pulled this Plant Joy sticker sheet, paper, whatever. And I just made it 3.44 by 3.45, which is just an obscure number to get to it to fit. And so you seen it on the paper. It just needed to fit where I wanted it to go. Then I went to make it. And what it did, it put it on two mat. Oh no, this is one mat because I have 11 by 17 paper in the office because this is one of my office segments. It could have all printed all on one sheet. But when I was at home, I was using my Cricut Joy Extra, and it printed on two 8.5 by 11s. But I forgot I had 11 by 17 up here because I do have Epson. Oh, I was about to say something smell like it's burning. It's my glue gun. I have an 11 by 17 printer. The Epson 1660 is my printer, and it prints on the back tray 11 by 17 paper. So I do have 11 by 17 paper. So I just printed it, which I was doing it at home, so I couldn't do it. Well, I could, but that's something else because I have a Canon 920 that I can print 12 by 12 sheets of paper. So this would have all printed on one sheet instead of two if I'd have used that printer, but I used my laser printer instead. And so that's why it didn't. So this is what it looks like, which is really great. It printed out beautifully. I mean, it's really based off your printer, but it cut out wonderfully. And so let me go back to my screen. Okay, so now what I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. How beautifully this cut out. If you just see how beautiful it printed gorgeous. And then this printed gorgeous, which has nothing to do with cutting, but the printing is vibrant. The printing is vibrant. And then the cutting is just as great as the stamps would have done. So I want you to see this. I'm trying to get as close as I can. Do you see the little jaggedy edges? It put the little jaggedy edges in there perfectly. Perfectly. So they know what they was doing. Whoever did this and created those cut files cut the way they were supposed to cut. Like beautiful. Beautiful. Look at those butterflies. Look at these tentacles. Look at those tentacles. They cut perfectly. It's just beautiful. What I'm going to do next time is I'm going to make sure that I put bleed on, because I don't know if I put bleed on. I may have. I don't know. But this is the thing. When you're printing off, you see those edges? They're white. And so you know how to combat that is to get you a Sharpie. Hold on. Let me go into the other room. Y'all can still hear me. I have this new mic on and I think it's really good. And so you might have to turn your volume down because I hope I'm not clipping. But what you do is you get you a... Okay, really? Nah, I was just... Oh, I was about to say, I was just at this desk. I knew it was a Sharpie up here. If you don't like this black around something that's black... I'm clipping so much. Let's pull this back and see. Okay. All you have to do is just go around it like that. If it really like stresses you out, just take a pen and go around it. But go around it around the back side, because if you notice my pen is slipping, you don't want it to slip on the front. So don't necessarily have to use a Sharpie or whatever. But just a pen. They have pens that do this. Or you can take your ink and do it however you want. But make sure you do it from the back, because you see I slipped and got that spot right there. But that's how you do that. Okay. I'll put this back in a minute. Okay, so this is what my card is going to resemble. Inside of my briefcase is some purple paper. And I looked everywhere but the briefcase. Okay. So I have this Fun Stampers Journey accessory pack I've had for years. My goal is to start using up all of my paper, because why am I holding on to it? I can print off sheets of paper all day long, as long as I have a white piece of paper and a printer with some ink. So why do I hoard it? I don't know. But I'm going to use this one right here. And let's get my cutter. And we're going to cut this. And I keep this in my office at all times because I use it. This is the Works. This one here is the Works. Let me turn it this way. See, it's the Works. And it came with the bag and stuff from HSN. So I'm going to cut this to 6. No, this is a 5x7 card. So this is going to be cut to 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. Okay. And then this is the same size, right? So I need to cut this to 4. I want to cut it on the butterfly side. No, I need to cut this. I'm going to cut it to 4 5/8 just to get it a little, so you can see the purple a little bit. 4 5/8 and 6 5/8. We just want to peek out that purple. Okay. And then this is a trick. Oh, did I cut it enough? Because I just wanted it to peek out. Yep, I did. Just enough for a matte layer. And this is a trick that, because this is a big piece of paper just to be covered up and you're not going to see it. So what you do is you go, this is, what the size of this is 4 3/4. So I'm going to go 4 3/8. No, I'd go 4 1/4. 4 1/4. Okay. And what I did was I cut the center out, and this piece can be used for something else. Instead of using this whole piece as a matte layer that's only going to be seen this much. See that? So if you're trying to conserve paper and you're doing some matte layers, you could do it a little bit neater than however I did this one. But now this can go on a 4x6 sheet, or you can use it to cut out pieces or cut out other mats. And so now, instead of only having these 2 scraps, I have this scrap to go with it, and I can do something with this, and I will when I make my next card. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to mat this piece. And you could actually take a die and do that too, because it's essentially I just made a frame. That was all I did. It's not straight, but essentially that is what I did. I'm going to make sure it's even. Okay, because all I wanted was a little bit showing on my card base. Okay, now I need a card base. So, do I have a card base in here? Nope, this is cut on blue. I thought I left this at home. I must have picked up the wrong box. Okay, so what I'm going to do is make a card base. So this is just a plain piece of 8.5 by 11. And I'm going to cut it. I always pick this thing up upside down. I'm going to cut it to 7. And I'm going to cut this to 10. Just like that. And I'm going to score it at 5. I always push mine up like this and burnish the score lines down. All right. And then there's something else that I like to do. Am I going to be able to do it? Yes, I'll be able to do it. Okay, what is this? 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. Yes. And then I like to give my cards some stability, as it were, and give them a little bit more substance when I make them, especially when they have flowers and stuff like this. So that is, I'm gonna cut this 4. Did I do it right? Yeah, 4 by 5 1/4. Or is that 6 1/4? By 6. So quintessentially, all I made was a matte layer for the inside. That's what I did. Okay. And so we can put this on first before we get the card dilly in here. And I'm not using my ATG because it's not at work. This is my at work series. And it's literally early in the morning. It's 9:30. I don't even start work until 11. But one day I decide I'm going to leave my computer at home because I ain't going to need to do nothing. I didn't leave my computer. I didn't bring my computer home. And you know what happened? I needed to do an email that was super important. And so my puppies now wakes me up every day at 6:30 when my son gets home from work, because he works from 9 to 6 or something like that. And at 6:30 when he gets off work, they bark. And so now I get the pleasure of being woken up every single day at 6:30. Okay, that's crooked. This little Crafter's Choice, whatever tape, has a good seal quickly. Just pull up really easily. Okay. I'm looking at 2 surfaces. There we go. All right, so now we have the inside of our card, and it gives it a little weight is what I was trying to do. See that? You can't tell the weight, but it gives it weight, especially since this front half is going to have weight on it. Okay, now this is our front side. We're going to tape this baby up and put it on the front side so we can get this card finished. I'm not adding glitter to this. I was going to add some extra stuff, and I changed my mind because I want this to go to the veterans. So all of the cards that I'm making are for the Cards for Soldiers program. And that is so beautiful. I love their paper. I really truly do. Their designers hit the head on the nail with their designing. Okay, so this one is going to go right there. But I'm going to give it some lift. And it's early, so I'm able to do this video without anybody coming into the office, because nobody's going to be here this early in the morning. Mostly everybody come in at, well, I start my day at 11 because I generally don't leave or don't stop working until 7. So I have the late hours. But my office mates are starting to do the same thing because a lot of people don't conduct business in our area until 11 for some reason. I don't know. I know why I do it, because I used to work. I used to be up doing my dissertation and I would sleep later. And I still do it. Plus, it gives me an opportunity to take care of my own business, my own personal stuff before I come into the office. Give me a couple of hours to do that, which is what I do. Okay, so I'm going to put that here. Okay, so now we got that there, and it got a little lift to it. See that dimension, little dimension. Okay, so next thing we're going to do, we're going to add our butterflies. But what I'm going to do with my butterflies, thus is the reason why I'm pulling out my, what's this thing called? Come on. Glue gun. There must be some glue stuck up in there, because it's not pushing my glue stick. Oh, no wonder. I need to put a new glue stick in there. Okay. There we go. There we go. Now we're cooking with grease. So I'm taking this and I'm just putting that right there. And I'm going to make a matte, my own matte layer butterfly. And the reason why I'm using hot glue is because it gives it a little bit of lift, because that glue have a little dimension. And so I'm not pressing it down, like I'm not pressing it that way. I'm just putting it together, and I'm going to do the same thing to my other butterfly. Ooh, shaking. I'm doing that to my other butterfly. I'm not really pressing it in. So we got our two butterflies drying. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do our it's dried glue up here on my, there we go. We're going to put our flowers together. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to glue them, because you don't have to color these because they're already colored. And I was going to shape them, but because there's so much dimension going on already with the printing, I decided not to do that. But you can, because they still, the shaper molds, like the basic shaper mold will shape these. And I think this set, I don't think this set had a shaping mold. I don't remember, because I do have all the shaping molds, I think. And so I got to spin before they dry. Okay. And if you don't know, this glue gun is a Ryobi. And I just got it from Lowe's. And it's, this piece is the glue gun. This green part is the base for the glue gun, and then the batteries. So now you got a portable setup. I used a 4 amp hour battery because it's 4 amp hours. Just, that's the only reason why I use it, because it's bigger. And I have a bunch of them, because I have a bunch of these glue guns for my classes. And so I keep one at my desk for crafting in the office. Got some strings. Where's that string at? It's connected to this one. The strings is driving me nuts. You know how you get rid of strings? Get you a heat gun, and it will get rid of your strings. Okay, 2 more. And see, using hot glue, and if you let it just dry just a little bit, it dries so that it makes dimension. Just give it a minute, like pile it up like that. Just like that glue from Crafter's Companion. Pile it up, give it a minute, and put it on your project. And it stands it up. Don't press down though. That's the key. You can't press. Ooh, you can't see that. Don't press. So see how I did that? It has dimension in there from the glue. Okay? So now let's get this card made. My desk is very small, so I often I put stuff back when I'm using it because my desk is small. Can't afford to let stuff just linger on and be in the way because my desk is small. Okay. So, all right. So here we go. Oh, and I wanted to give you a kind of an idea of what I do. Okay, so I knew what I wanted this to look like. So in the morning, when I designed this a couple of days ago, I took a picture of it. So I know what it's supposed to look like when I put it together. So this butterfly right here is gonna go right. It's gonna go right there. This butterfly. I was sitting this thing down instead of putting it back in the holster, so my glue is getting a little my glue gun is getting a little not melty. Okay, so that one is going right there. And then now all we got to do is put our flowers in there. I want a flower here. I want a flower here, right there. So it look like the sign is in the flowers. I want a flower here. Oop. I want one right here. This one I want kind of tucked, which is the reason why I made double layers, because I'm kind of tucking them in there. Strings. Okay, then I want one right here. One there. And on here. And it's going to sit kind of on the top of both of those. And once your glue dries, then you come in and you manipulate your top layers to give them a little bit more lift, even though you're going to lose this lift in the card envelope. And there you go. Plant joy. And so a person who enjoys flowers can get this card. And if you know that your wife or someone who loves planting joy, they can give this card to them. There is no glitter on it. It just looks like there's glittery balls. And I was going to put that lacquer, but I decided not to put the lacquer because if they decide to send this overseas, they can. I'm not sure about dimension. That was the other thing I was going to talk about. I don't know if I talked about it in my last video, but the requirements for the Cards for Soldiers program. Let me turn on my hot glue gun. The requirements for the they have to be 5x7, no more than 5x7. They're asking that you please send envelopes with your cards. They want you to leave it blank on the inside and send that you don't have to sign it unless you put a sticky note or something. No glitter. No glitter. Glitter, if you put glitter on them, they can't be sent overseas. They can be sent to the VA hospital and then you tag them for the VA hospital. Okay. They need stuff like thank you cards, nondescript cards, missing you cards, general occasion cards, that kind of stuff. Also, dark cards must be lined with white on the inside. So how I put this, they want this to be white because they don't have pens that can write. They have to have a black or blue pen. Okay. You can make the same card and send them in bulk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my big machine. What is that thing? I don't know what the heck that big machine is called. Venture. I'm going to use my Venture and I'm going to cut out about 10 of this design and do it. It's easy. Make sure you send it with your envelope intact. Oh, this is new. They want to know if you would like to send pins. You can send pins in the box of cards. Also, you can sign cards and send messages to the soldiers if you want to send messages directly to our service members. Okay. And let's see, page 3. Blank cards with exception of envelopes. Please put these cards inside the envelopes. Oh, make sure that you put the envelope in there, but do not seal it. Glittered cards for VA hospitals, glitter specific, that type of stuff. And so you can send it. And this is the address, Cards for Soldiers Project. This is in Grayling, Michigan, where I am in Michigan. It's far, but I can pack this baby up and put them in a box. And there, I have a connection that will take these cards to the person who needs them. So I'm going to be making about 19 more of these because I'll send 20. Because what they do is split them up to each boxes. And every card that I make, I'll probably make 10 or 20 of the same card. So then they'll have a lot of the same designs and they can send them in different places. And these are not, it's not a lot of bulk. So it's not, what do you call it? Dimension is not a lot. So it still fits in a 5x7 envelope with no problem. So make sure when you send it that it still fits in a 5x7 envelope with no problem. Okay, so you gotta send these with the envelope tucked in just like that. Okay, all right. So this was my video for today. This is one part of my work series videos. I appreciate you so much. And so I will be making duplicates of this card and sending it on. If you are a person who wants to do the same, if you want to participate in the Cards for Soldiers program, please, the address, I showed you the address, but if not, email me and we can coordinate something. If you're in my local area, we can get a day where we can have a crafting day and make cards for our soldiers. As a veteran, I remember not getting mail when I first got to my duty stations. And so stuff like this really helped me get over being lonely, missing my children and my family, my husband, mom, everybody. And so this is a great program. I've done it before with Operation Right Home. They have since, nonprofit have since closed, but Cards for Soldiers is still doing it. And so I appreciate anybody who will be willing to do it. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you in the next one.